Hello, lovely light seekers. Welcome to day one of the Chopra Abundance Challenge. It's July 1, and this is a really good time to run this challenge because in July, um, there are just so many creative energies flowing, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Um, but first, I want to touch on how this challenge runs. So today, for the Chopra challenge, what we're focusing on is attention. Today, I behold the abundance that surrounds me. So every day of this challenge, you have a task. You have a mantra. It's a mind movement or mind direction that you follow. The mantra for today that you'll hear in the Chopra meditation that I'll link below is Soham. I am that. And today, you're going to listen to that meditation and just get grounded in abundance consciousness by just being aware of it, just looking for it everywhere. That is the task. And so, a lot of this challenge for today is about attention. What do you focus your attention on? And with regard to that, you have an activity where you go deep within yourself. So, a lot of these activities are about going inside of ourselves and creating from within and understanding that it has to start within. And all the work that we do within manifests out external to us if we do it in the right way. And the reason why the law of attraction and the law of manifestation doesn't work is because we're not doing it correctly. We're not using our energy centers. Our mind is a primary energy center, and our heart is the most powerful energy center that we've completely shut down in the 3D grid. And that's why we're not able to attract and manifest as we should, because we're not properly utilizing that heart center. So we're going to be working on that throughout this challenge. So I want to talk about Jayme Price is a light worker who does monthly updates. So I want to talk about her monthly July update because she had a lot of really good stuff in there, which I don't, I listen to all the light workers who do monthly updates. And like I said, they do these based on astrology, based on what they feel from energy, based on what they're hearing from their guides. I don't always like Jayme's updates, like they don't always resonate with me. But this one for July really, really resonated with me in terms of what I'm feeling and what my higher self is telling me. So I wanted to share a little bit of what Jayme said with you all. So, first of all, she said for light workers, she said June was really intense because what we saw in June was just a lot of, like I said, darkness coming to light, a lot of 3D structures crumbling, the structures of, just absolute power and corruption doing what it does is not being tolerated, and those structures are crumbling. And as those structures crumble, there's backlash from those structures. Like these structures are fighting for their lives. The structures of control, the structures of dominance. They're really fighting for to sustain themselves. So we're seeing that. We've seen that all throughout June, that those 3D control, dominance, very toxic masculine structures are really fighting for survival, and they're fighting very viciously and ferociously for survival. So that was what was going on in June, but she also talked about a lot of inner healing going on in June because the human collective is just generally frustrated with this kind of energy and not liking the control, violent, warring energy, tired of it, wanting something else. And with the COVID-19 coronavirus lockdown, that was also a lot of control. That people are tired of just being so controlled by the 3D grid. So a lot of backlash against that in June, and as we move into July, she said, just like Shri and Kira said, it's still going to be pretty chaotic, but at the same time, chaos is a time for creativity, and that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on being creative during this time of disruption and chaos. So she talks about light workers weaving light and love into humanity, finding a way to do that, whatever that looks like for you. And she talks about she is getting visions of both hemispheres in the brain lighting up. And that's really important. I think this is something that has been evolving in the human collective for a while, that we have a left brain and a right brain. I have a picture. Let me show you my bad pictures. So we have a left brain and a right brain. So see um, my pictures. So the left brain is our logic, linear, masculine brain, and that's been running the 3D grid for forever. And then our right brain is our creative, compassionate, loving brain, and that is the divine feminine that's coming online. So we're seeing that right brain light up in a way that it's never lit up before, and connecting with the logical, linear, masculine brain. So we've got the brain working together in ways that it hasn't necessarily worked together in the past. Then we've got the heart center. And the heart is really another organ that's coming online and really helping to change what is going on in the external 3D reality. This is why we're seeing so much backlash to the violent, dominant, controlling 3D paradigm of law enforcement, because it's without heart, without love, and without compassion. So, as the human collective has their heart centers coming online, there's far less tolerance for heartless, compassionless activity and structures. So we are seeing that's why we're seeing these changes in the collective. So what she says we need to do is we need to really focus on our heart, and because it is the most powerful electronic magnetic field within our bodies. So understand that the reality we create is based on the frequencies that we emit, and we are emitting these frequencies. We're used to doing it from our brain with the thoughts we think, and if we think and we give a lot of energy to negative thoughts, we are going to create a negative reality. But we haven't spent much time on the heart and thinking about what kind of energy comes up out of the heart. And the heart also has the most powerful electromagnetic field. So when we are vibrating in powerful heart emotions like love and joy and bliss, and this is a lot of what Deepak Chopra is talking about in the Abundance Challenge. You'll see that the daily meditations are often very focused on, love and bliss and excitement and joy, because in order to create from your heart center, that's the level of frequency that you need to be vibrating at. So Jayme Price is like, let's connect the heart and the mind, and connect those together, and then broadcast this energetic frequency out into the realm that is going to be really powerful in terms of creating the kinds of outcomes that you desire. She also says you need to go with the flow of love, and if you do that, this time it's going to be less chaotic for you. Just go with the flow of love. She also says you can't really see yourself as limited. So I talked about that yesterday with the 3D paradigms. Remember, can't see yourself as limited. That's really critical. And you need to stop looking outside of yourself for validation. That's something that Deepak talks about in this 21-day challenge. So, going with a thorough love, getting in, getting connected with your mind and your heart, your heart center, and that's gonna not seeing yourself as limited, and that's gonna put you into a flow where you can navigate the chaos more easily than if you're in a state of feeling victimized, or you know, feeling at the mercy of 3D, which a lot of times, people do. So that's the kind of consciousness that we're trying to break out of. All right. So here is my illustration of all of that. All right. we want to get into this. I want to get into the mind. Uh, this is so confusing. The brain centers going to connect the right side up with the left side, and then we're going to fingers. Then we're going to move. We're going to get the brain, the mind connected to the heart, pulse that out, and understand there's a lot of creative power in doing that. See what I've written? Powerful frequency coming out of this heart center. All right. So that's what you need to visualize going on within yourself as you take on the challenge. So for this challenge, what I have the challenge written up on Medium, so it's all the instructions that you'll need for how to do it. First, you listen to a meditation, and then you reflect on that meditation. And then after the meditation, I've written some spiritual stuff, spiritual laws that you can look into to understand why what Deepak Chopra is saying is true, because he has studied, a lot of spiritual texts, most of them Indian. I've studied, as I've said before, A Course in Miracles. This is a very intense spiritual text, Christian spiritual text that if you do the course, the idea is you'll be able to do miracles as Jesus did. Um, and have I been able to do miracles? Sometimes it's rare, but yes, I have experienced miracles having done this course. So the spiritual information is really critical to busting out of the 3D paradigms. It's like Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven has always been inside of you. But you have to really get in touch with that spiritual knowledge to experience that. So, with Chopra, he puts you in a meditative state and he's feeding you these really heavy, intense spiritual concepts in little sound bites. So, it gets in, but it won't, it gets in your head, but it won't stay in your head if you're not, really trying to understand, well, what is he talking about and where is it coming from? So I again invite you, as always, when you hear the mantras, Google the mantras, do your research on the mantras, try and understand the mantras, try to integrate them into your understanding of who you are. The mantra for day one is So Hum. So Hum is I am that. And so with Soham, and you're looking at all the abundance that surrounds you, but Soham is thought to mean, I am that, and that is the universe. So I am basically everything, is what you're saying when you are listening to that mantra, Soham. And then I introduce you to this concept of attention. When you are, you know, what is it that you want to attract into your life? And so, whatever it is, you need to just pay attention to it with a happy, delighted heart and all of the creative energy of your mind. And then you sort of detach from it and you don't really worry about, well, how is this thing that I want going to manifest for me? You can't get into all of the details of the 3D grid because that just really messes up whatever manifestation powers you would be invoking through the spiritual 4D and 5D realms. So with in order to help with that, I have a link to a fifth dimensional meditation practices, and this is by A Universe Inside You on YouTube. And they do a whole lot of stuff on law of attraction. If you're interested in law of attraction and manifesting things, you should check them out. But this guided sort of meditation that she does talks about what I'm talking about, using your heart and your mind and the frequencies to attract. And so I created an exercise kind of inspired by the third method of attracting and manifesting that she describes. So in her description, she talks about getting on an elevator and going to this floor, and it's the fourth floor, so it's the fourth dimension where you just everything that you could ever want is just right there for you, and you get to it easily. And you go to this floor after you've gone to the third floor. That's a third dimension where everything is just chaos and noise and craziness, and you can't get to where what you want. And then she goes into what's on the fifth floor, and then on the fifth floor, it's stuff that is just beyond your wildest dreams. So I really like that, and I thought that was a cute way to describe the third, the fourth, and the fifth dimension. So I did this. I did a take on that where I say, let's go to a mall, and it's a mall where you don't use your money, you just use your attention. So you go into the mall, whatever you're paying attention to, you're gonna get it. But just make sure that you're joyful and happy when you're paying attention to it. So that's the activity for the day. So for the Chopra challenge, what you're going to do every day is you're going to listen to Deepak Chopra's meditation. You're going to, if you have the time, read up on what I've written about the spiritual laws. And then finally, you're going to get you a journal, and you're going to do an activity, and you're going to write about it and say, yeah, I went into the mall and I paid attention to an amazing beach vacation. That's what I always want. Like, I always want to go vacation at the best beach in the world with the cleanest, brightest sand and the most luxurious resort type environment. That's good living for me. So I am always trying to manifest that, and I do. I'm always, not a year goes by that I don't go to the beach. It's not always a luxurious, exotic beach, but I am always at the beach. So there's that. All right, lovely ones, let's get to manifesting. Let's get to cultivating that consciousness of abundance. And again, if you have any questions, that's what I'm here for. Alrighty, bye guys.